So a very brief introduction about myself. I'm CA Puneet Bansal. I'm both CA and lawyer by profession, but presently practicing as a lawyer. For last 20 years, I have worked in indirect tax domain only. I started my career in Maruti Udyog. I worked in their indirect tax department for 4 years. Next 9 years, I have worked with Lakshmi Kumaran and Sridharan, a premier law firm specializing in indirect taxes. Then I joined BMR as a partner in their indirect tax practice. And for last 4 years, I have been the managing partner of Nitya Tax Associates. A very brief introduction about our firm. The firm started in 2015, and our firm specializes in both advisory and litigation domains. We are a team of around 50 people with 7 partners. Most of the partners are from Big Four and leading law firms. We work primarily with multinational companies in automobile, FMCG, and consumer durable sector. I was also awarded 40 under 40 in 2017 by Asian Legal Business, and our firm was awarded Best Law Firm in Taxation category by Indian Business Law Journal. With this introduction, I start my session. So, just one minute. Just a minute. Yes. So we are 2 years in GST, and all of you have seen a lot of legal, procedural, compliance challenges in last 2 years. Apart from legal issues, we had a lot of challenges from GST and network, which over a period has stabilized. And I think that's the reason the government wanted all of us to be on toes, and they want to introduce the new GST forms. In new GST forms, technology will be very pivotal, and I'll explain how significant changes all of us need to make in our way of working so that the return filings, credit taking, etc. can be done smoothly. So with this, we start our session, and firstly, we start with the journey of these new return formats. In 2018, the government introduced the basic principles of new return system. In July 2018, the formats were introduced. By CGST Amendment Act 2018, Section 43A of CGST Act was introduced. This was notified on 1st February 2019. In March 2019, the revised return formats were issued on GST portal. As recent as June 2019, the prototypes of new forms and transition plan was introduced. In this budget, the government made legislative changes in Section 39 to make new return system operational. And lastly, as recent as couple of days back, the government introduced offline utility for filing of ANX 1 and ANX 2 on GST portal. So what all we'll be covering today? So we'll be discussing different type of GST forms, the applicability of GST forms to different categories of taxpayers, the quarterly returns, different type of quarterly returns, the contents thereof, monthly returns. We will run through the whole journey, how a monthly return will be filed with table details, examples, etc. Form ANX 1, Form ANX 2, RET 1 will be discussing table-wise contents. We will be giving few examples of transitional cases from old returns to new returns. There are some legal disputes which have happened till now on returns only. So we'll be running through that. And lastly, we'll be discussing the way forward. What are our suggestions to all of you? So before I come to the GST forms, I wish to make one clarification that there are some things which are not yet clarified by the government. There are some rules which are yet to come. So as on date, whatever is in public domain, we have covered in this. We have thought through this. But yes, some areas are still open as of now. Now coming to GST forms. So what are the various type of GST forms presently proposed, etc. Coming to the legal provisions, and in these legal provisions we'll be referring to Central Goods and Services Tax Act 2017, Central Goods and Services Tax Rules 2017. So those will be referring as Act and Rules. Section 37 and Rule 59. They talk about filing of details of outward supplies before 10th of succeeding month. Yes, this is GSTR 1. And before I proceed further, I wish to clarify that in law, there is a difference between a statement and a return. As far as a taxpayer is concerned, he has to file a single return only. So GSTR 1 presently being filed by you is a statement only. So yes, presently we file details of our outward supplies by 10th of next month, which is GSTR 1. Section 38 and Rule 60 talks about filing of details of inward supplies between 11th to 15th of next month. This was supposed to be filed in Form GSTR 2. Section 39 and Rule 61 talks about return. So what we were discussing till now were the statements only. GSTR 1 and GSTR 2, these were the statements. Now we come to the return, which is under Section 39 and Rule 61. This is a return of outward and inward supplies, which needs to be filed by 20th of next month. This was supposed to be GSTR 3. But are you filing GSTR 2 or 3? No. At the time of introduction of GST only, the government realized that technologically GSTR 2 and 3 cannot be implemented. Therefore, GSTR 2 and 3 have been kept in abeyance. Instead of GSTR 3, the government introduced a simple summary return, which is GSTR 3B, in which details of outward and inward supplies have to be given. Yes, in Section 39, and an amendment was made in the recent union budget, in which the last date as filing by 20th has been omitted. So the date will be prescribed in the rules. So in this slide, we covered that government originally proposed to file GSTR 1, 2, and 3. 2 and 3 were not made operational. Instead of 3, government has issued GSTR 3B. So presently, all taxpayers are filing GSTR 1 and 3B only. Moving further, so what is being proposed now? As far as outward supplies are concerned, presently a taxpayer files GSTR 1, in which, as far as B2B supplies are concerned, it gives invoice-wise detail to whom the goods are supplied in GSTR 1. This will get replaced by ANX 1. As far as inward supplies are concerned, a taxpayer does not file anything at all. But in future, the taxpayer will be required to file ANX 2. So you will see that this is an additional compliance requirement which will be undertaking. Regarding return, presently you file GSTR 3B, which will be replaced by RET 1, 2, or 3. So to sum up, return will be RET 1, 2, or 3. Statement of outward supplies, ANX 1. statement of inward supplies ANX2. For sake of brevity, we'll refer ANX1 as A1, ANX2 as A2, and return RET 1, 2, and 3 as R1, 2, and R3. So in the subsequent part of the session, we'll be using A1, A2, R1, R2, and R3. Going ahead, due dates. So now we'll be discussing due dates both from a supplier as well as a recipient perspective. And we have tried to make it through an illustration how it will play out. So yes, there is a current month and next month. So there is a supplier. He makes supplies to various recipients. So he has to upload documents on a real-time basis in ANX1. So if we take example of January, if he makes supplies in January, from 1st January itself, he can upload the documents. Whatever documents are uploaded, on a real-time basis, they are auto-populated to ANX2 of the recipient. By when he can upload the documents? He can upload the documents till 17th of next month. So if you are talking about the month of January, if I as a supplier am making supplies to various customers, I can upload the documents starting from January 1 to February 17th. Depending upon the documents which I am uploading, my liability will get locked. So the documents uploaded by me from January 1 to February 17th, my liability will be locked. So the government has brought a moratorium period. Between 18th and 20th of next month, no uploading is allowed. So in the example of January, I cannot upload any documents between February 18 to February 20th. And then I will file my R1 by 20th of next month. So the return of January will be filed by 20th of February. So I'll just halt here for a few seconds and you guys can confirm on the chat box, is this clear? Because this is the fundamental of the new return system and I'll be happy to repeat it again. So yes, you can so I request you to raise hands if this thing is clear. Otherwise, I'll proceed further. Or if there are any doubts, I'll be happy to clarify this again. So yes, many people have raised hands that this is clear, but I'll still quickly explain this again. So the supplier, he uploads the documents. He can upload the document for January in the January itself. Whenever he uploads the documents in A1, it automatically goes to A2 of the recipient. He can upload the documents till 17th of next month. Based on that, his tax liability gets locked. No uploading is allowed in the month, in the dates 18th to 20th of next month. And on 20th, he files his R1. So if the example is January, the uploading will happen from January 1 to February 17th. No uploading possible from February 18 to 20th. And the return has to be filed by February 20th. Moving ahead, as far as quarterly filers are concerned, these dates shift from month to quarter. So they can upload the documents during the entire quarter till 22nd of next month. So if we are talking about the quarter January to March, the uploading can happen starting from January 1 to April 22nd. As far as April 23rd to April 25th are concerned, no uploading is possible. And the quarterly filer has to file the return by 25th of April. Proceeding further, important dates from a recipient's perspective. So whatever my suppliers have uploaded the documents, they will auto-populate in my ANX2. I can accept those documents as it is. So if those supplies are relating to me, I will instantly accept. So here the critical date comes to 10th of next month. So taking the example forward, if the month was January, by 10th February, I can accept or unlock or reset the document. So what do we mean by accept? Accept means I'm acknowledging that these supplies are relatable to me. Therefore, I'm accepting. This becomes my credit. But suppose a supplier has filed a document which is not relating to me. So I can undo that. So undoing is referred to as unlock or reset. So yes, by 10th of February, either I'll accept the documents, or if there is an error at supplier's end, I will do unlock or resetting. Important to note that till 10th of February, I cannot reject. Proceeding further, from 11th to 20th of February, I am also given a reject option. So suppose the supply is not relatable to me, I can reject. I can keep it as pending. A typical example of pending can be goods in transit, because presently Section 16 of CGST Act allows ITC on receipt of goods or services. So say for example, the supplier has dispatched the goods on last day of the month, but I have received on the next day of the month. My entitlement to take credit does not come. So I can keep it as pending as well. And yes, the option of acceptance is also available. So to repeat, from January 1 to 10th of February, I can either accept or I can unlock or reset. Unlock or reset means undoing the acceptance, so that if the supplier wants to make any changes, he can do. As far as 11th to 20th of February is concerned, I have three options: reject if the supply is not relatable to me, pending if I have not received the goods or I, for any reason, I don't want to take credit, as well as accept. Whatever I accept, that goes to my electronic credit ledger. Another important aspect to note is that all the procurements which I am doing, I need to accept them irrespective of eligibility. So here the acceptance is whether these procurements are relatable to me. So in respect of supplies covered under Section 17(5), say for example, motor vehicles, etc., even in respect of those supplies, acceptance needs to be made. And thereafter, you need to reverse the credit in RET1. And yes, then the recipient will file its R1 by 20th of February. One important aspect we need to consider is that as far as ITC is concerned, it will only be available on documents uploaded till 10th of next month. So there can be three scenarios. First scenario is my vendor supplied the goods in January. I accepted the goods in January. That credit is recorded in ECL of January only. Second scenario is my vendor uploaded the documents till 10th of February. I accepted either before 10th or before 20th. That credit is recorded in my electronic credit ledger. Third situation, which is important to note, is that if my vendor has supplied the goods in the month of January, as we saw in the previous slide, he can upload the documents till 17th. So if he uploads the documents between 11th to 17th of February, that credit will not be recorded for me in the month of January only. That credit will be recorded in the month of February only. So it is very important for me to tell all my suppliers to upload the documents till 10th of next month only, even though they are legally entitled to do by 17th of next month. I think this is an important part, and I will repeat this part once again. So in the previous slide, we saw that supplier can upload the documents till 17th of next month. So as far as the month of January is concerned, the documents can be uploaded till 17th of February. But as far as credit taking is concerned, the new formats will permit me to take credit only on documents which are uploaded by my suppliers till 10th of next month. Therefore, only for invoices which have been uploaded by my suppliers till 10th of February, I can record credit in the electronic credit ledger of January. I will again halt here for a few seconds. If anyone has any questions or if this concept is clear, then we'll proceed further. Please use your chat box to put your comments if this part was clear. Okay, so I have got lot of responses that this is clear. There are some questions which are coming and I'll address that. So one question has come from Mr. Rajkumar Khattar. Before 17th, what to upload, and after 20th, what to upload. So as I clarified that before 17th, you have to upload your documents for the previous month. So if we are talking about supplies made in January, you can upload those documents either in the month of January or till 17th February. Then one question is from Mr. A.K. Goel. Till when the recipient can accept the details of ANX1? So the answer is he can accept those details till 20th of February only. And if the supplier has uploaded the invoices till 10th of February, everything will be recorded in ECL of January only. There is one more question from Subhash Mishra. Thus, we have only 3 days to file RET1. So I will say that as far as RET1 is concerned, the days are 20 days only. So it totally depends upon your process. Yeah, but if you're doing on the last moment, you have 3 days only. Then there are some more questions which are coming. I'm not taking them now, because those will be covered in the subsequent slides clearly. So here we were only giving a very, very brief overview about it. So please hold on to some of these questions. And if those are still not clear, when the relevant sections come, you can discuss that, or we can take it at the end.